गणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारम् व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। दुम दुर्गायै नमः। So, all the devatas requested Devi. Our only desire as Vara is you taking away Sarva Badha Prashamanam, destroying all our afflictions, sorrow, misery, and also Vairi Vinashanam, destruction of all the enemies who are again and again attacking us in our daily life. So, cosmically and individually, Devi is requested. So, what did Devi say? Devyuvacha Vaivasvatentare prapte अष्टाविंशतिमे युगे शुम्भो निशुम्भश्चैवान्यौ उत्पत्स्येते महासुरौ. Devi said, when the 28th yuga arrives during the period of Vaivasvata Manvantara, there will be born two more asuras like Shumbha and Nishumbha. And they are also very powerful, नन्दगोपगृहे जाता यशोदा गर्भसम्भवा ततस्तौ नाशयिष्यामि विन्ध्याचलनिवासिनी. Being born in Nandagopa's palace, Griha, in his house, in the Garbha, in the womb of Yashoda, I will be born. That is as Durga. And for what reason? Tatasthav Nashayishyami. To kill those two asuras who have the equal power as Shumbha and Nishumbha. I will kill them. Nashayishyami. And I will become Vindhyachala Nivasini. I will reside in Vindhyachala. पुनरप्यति रौद्रेण रूपेण पृथिवीतले अवतीर्य हनिष्यामि वैप्रचित्तांश्च दानवान्. And again later on, having incarnated Punarapyati Raudrena Rupena, with that ferocious, terrible form, I will incarnate again to Avatirya Hanishyami. I will incarnate, I will come down, descend on earth, Avatirya Hanishyami. I will kill all the descendants of Viprachitti. Viprachitti dynasty is also Asuric in qualities, and the dynasty is of Asuras. So all the descendants of that I will destroy. Viprachitti. Bhakshayantyashcha tanugraन् Vaiprachittan Mahasuran Raktadanta Bhavishyanti Dadimi Kusumopamaha. Having killed these descendants of Viprachitti, Asuras, I will also Bhakshayishyami. I will eat them, I will consume them, I will devour them. Because of which Raktadanta Bhavishyanti, all my teeth will become smeared with blood, and it will become like the pomegranate, Dadimi Kusuma, pomegranate flower, which is very red in color. So my teeth will become stained, colored with red. So here what we can understand is, just because Shumbha and Nishumbha are gone from the cosmos, or individually that aham, ego, and mamakara, or mamatva, just because it is gone, it is not permanent. So again, it can come into us, that mamakara and aham. So once we give little freedom to that mind, it will oscillate and go again towards aham and mama. Like that Shumbha, Nishumbha kind of asuras, when they are born again, I am going to kill them. And because of those two, there will be other asuras who will be born in that dynasty. I will certainly kill them. Those are all the vrittis, the thoughts, which are activating the actions, asuric actions. I will kill all of them, and I will devour them, so that there is no trace of these asuras. However, having eaten them, the teeth have become red. That means what? The blood is the essence, the quality which flows, and it lingers even after a long period in any of us. Simple food like pickle, coffee. When we drink it, we have tasted it and it is done. It has already gone inside. But still, the essence of that will be still lingering in the mind. The thought about that will be still lingering as essence, rasa. That rasa is this blood. So it will be still there in the being and in the cosmos. So I will be having those red blood smeared tea, which resembles the red flower of pomegranate. ततो मां देवतः स्वर्गे मर्त्यलोके च मानवाः स्तुवन्तो व्याहरिष्यन्ति सततं रक्तदन्तिकाम्. In Swarga, all the devas will be calling me, giving me a new name as Raktadantika. And even in Martyaloka, that is this physical world, all the manavas, humans, will call me as Raktadantika. I will be given a new name. भूयश्च शतवर्षि वार्षिक्याम् भूयश्च शतवार्षिक्याम् अनावृष्ट्यामनम्भसि मुनिभिः संस्मृता भूमौ सम्भविष्याम्ययो निजा. भूयश्च शतवार्षिक्याम्. Varsha is the rain. Without having the rain for Shatavarsha, which is 100 years. Anavrishti, without rain or without water. So the whole universe will become without that water. At that moment, at that period, Munibhi samsmruta bhumau. On earth, all the munis, sages, will be propitiating me and thus being prayed, being propitiated. Sambhavishyami, I will be born, I will come down. Ayonija, as Ayonija, not in the womb of any being individual, but I will be coming out of the drought-ridden earth. So here, the water, when we take it to the individual devotee and seeker, that water is Amrita, the life-giving Amrita, which represents knowledge, jnana, and Shakti. Jnana is that Shiva, and Shakti, the energy to breathe and live and interact in this world. It is the water which is like Amrita. So without that jnana and Shakti, if we are leading our life, the whole being will be like water-ridden, drought-stricken earth, barren earth. How terrible it would be. So when the Muni, they propitiate me from within, I will make my appearance to the being. That being is like that drought-ridden earth. So from within, I will come as Ayonija. ततश्चतेन नेत्राणां निरीक्षिष्याम्यहं मुनीन् कीर्तयिष्यन्ति मनुजाः शताक्षीमिति मां ततः. And when I look at those munis who are doing penance, to have water when I see them through my Shatakshi, hundreds of eyes. Kirtayishyanti Manujaha, then all the humans on earth will call me as Shatakshi. Iti Mam Tataha. Then they will all call me as Shatakshi. So what is that Akshi here? That is Shatakshi. Hundreds of eyes. They are the 100 drops of water. 100 means innumerable. That means I will shower the rain on the whole cosmos. So, when it is applied to the individual, what happens? When the Muni is propitiating her and she is coming out as Shatakshi, all the limbs, all the senses will become vigilant, vibrant, emitting that rays of consciousness which look like Shatakshi, alert, vibrant, with so much of life. So, ततोऽहमखिलं लोकम् आत्मदेहसमुद्भवैः भरिष्यामि सुराशाकैः आवृष्टे प्राणधारकैः. O Suraha, O Devas, then Tato Aham Akhilam Lokam Atmadeha Samudbhavai. I will maintain the whole universe through having the shaka, all the vegetables coming out of my own body. That means when there is lots of rain, as Shatakshi, naturally the earth will give rise to all the vegetables which will sustain life on earth. So, avrishtehi pranadharakaihi. I will sustain the world with the rain cosmically. Individually, once there is so much of power, vibrancy, life power within, automatically the whole being, body, and the mind will be sustained with so much of nutrition to the body as well as to the mind. To positive good thoughts, the divine thoughts. And thus the life is sustained. शाकम्भरीति विख्यातिं तदा यास्याम्यहं भुवि तत्रैव च वधिष्यामि दुर्गमाख्यं महासुरम्. And because I am filled with so much of vegetables on my deha, my own deha, which is the whole earth, cosmically, individually. When it is filled with so much of nutrition, available easily, she is called Shakambhari. Like that, Vikyatam, she will be famed and she will attain that new name. Not only that, Tatraivacha Vadhishyami, I will also kill the Asura who is Mahasura. Again, he is another great Asura with lots of power, who is called Durgam. I will be killing him. And because of that, Durga Devi ti Mikyatam तन्मे नाम भविष्यति पुनश्चाहं यदा भीमं रूपं कृत्वा हिमाचले. Because I am killing that Asura, Durgama, I will be called Durga Devi with the new name. Again, assuming the huge, terrible, frightening Rupa, the form, I will reside in Himalaya, Himachal. And there, Rakshamsi Bhakshayishyami Muninam Tranakaranat Tada Mam Munayah Sarve Stoshyantyānamramurtayah. I will be devouring all the asuras. Bhakshayishyami, Rakshamsi. Muninam Pranakaranam, to protect, to deliver these munis from the afflictions caused by these asuras. Then all the munis, survey, all munis will be bowing down to me. They will be surrendering themselves, social, and thus they will make me happy. So, for a seeker, all these asuras are nothing but the thoughts which are making him going away from being one with the consciousness, which is Maa Durga, within as conscious form. So once all these thoughts are gone, the negative thoughts, asuric thoughts, naturally the Muni will be feeling so joyful that he totally surrenders. That means the mind is filled with Ma in conscious form. There is nothing for him, nothing else. That Aham is also gone. Mamakara will not also not be there. And thus it is a total surrender to that conscious form by the devotee and the seeker, who is filled and who is seeing nothing but Ma Durga. That is the state he goes in, because of which Ma will be happy. Stoshyanti. They all will make me happy because they have attained that oneness with me. Bhima Deviti Vikyatam Tanme Nama Bhavishyati. And I will get the new name, another name, Bhima Devi. I will be famed as Bhima Devi. Yadarunakyastrailokyē Mahabadham Karishyati Tadaham Brahmaram Rupam Kritva Sankhyeya Shatpadam Trailokyasya Hitarthaya Vadhishyami Mahasuram. And then Arunasura. Yada Arunakya Trailokye. In all the three lokas, that Arunasura will be causing so much of trouble. Mahabadham Karishyati. He will be creating so much havoc in all the three lokas. And then at that moment, Tadaham, then Brahmaram Rupam, I will take the form as bumblebee. Kritva Sankhye Asankhyena, I will take form with innumerable bumblebee forms. That is the army of bumblebees. Trailokyasya hitarthaya, and for the well-being of all the three lokas. Vadishyami Mahasuram. I will kill that Asura who is Arunasura. So here Arunasura is Aruna, the red color. Arunasura is the one who is filled with Rajoguna, and his actions are in negative way, which is causing so much of trouble to all the three lokas. All the three lokas means what? When it is applied to the individuals. In all the three states of our existence, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, past, present, future. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo, Guna. They are all three lokas because the world we will be experiencing at that moment in that particular bhava will be so different. We are going through every day. Everyone will go through these three states of existence as three different worlds. And if this Arunasura with so much of Rajasic thoughts are constantly there, it will be a trouble. So I'm going to kill him. How will she kill? By buzzing, by humming the eternal truth all the time. Just visualize, go through that experience. The mind is non-stop talking, murmuring with so much of Rajoguna about the world, about the life, physical life. And when the mind becomes so busy, and if someone is singing from within, the conscious form, Durga, mind, who has taken the form as being, she is humming, buzzing constantly that eternal truth that you are nothing but consciousness. You are the consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. You are that ever expansive consciousness. Nothing more, nothing less. You are the consciousness. Like that, if she's all the time telling, slowly the mind will get into that soothing, ever expansive consciousness as its stable, eternal form. So, what happened to that Arunasura? Is destroyed just by that buzzing sound constantly. भ्रामरीति च मां लोकाः तदा स्तोष्यन्ति सर्वतः इत्थं यदा यदा बाधा दानवोत्था भविष्यति तदा तदावतीर्याहं करिष्याम्यरिसंक्षयम्. So I will be called as Brahmari, Brahmaramba, Brahmari, a new name. Like this, whenever, whenever there is afflictions, badha, created by all these danavas, asuras, who are enemies of the divine devatas. Tada, at all those times, at such cases, I will incarnate, I shall destroy all those asuras. That is the promise she is giving. So even now, if we go with our mind as radar, receptive radar, clean, pure, genuine radar, and if we enter into any of the Shakti Pithas, we can feel the vibrations. No doubt about it. So, Devi, Maa Durga, is constantly working on the whole cosmos and every atom of the cosmos. Every atom means what? Every being. She's working constantly. We have to recognize it, understand, feel, get involved with her, and experience her. That is what Durga Saptashati is driving us to do. So, this is like the eternal prophecy which Devi is telling them in the promise form. स्वस्ति श्री मार्कंडेय पुराणे सावर्णिके मन्वन्तरे देवी माहात्म्ये नारायणी स्तुतिर्नामैकादशोऽध्यायः. Next comes Bhagavati Vakyam Dvadashodhyaya, the 12th chapter. Bhagavati Vakyam, what she says. Dhyanam for this 12th chapter is Om Vidyudhama Samaprabham Mrugapatiskandha Sthitam Bhishanam Kanyabhikaravalaketa Vilasadhastaभिरासेविताम् हस्तैश्चक्रगदासिखेट विशिखांश्चापं गुणं तर्जनीम् बिभ्राणामनलात्मिकां शशिधरां दुर्गां त्रिनेत्रां भजे. त्रिनेत्रां भजे शशिधरां दुर्गां. I meditate upon Durga, who has Trinetra, 3 eyes. Shashidhara, one who is having the crescent moon as ornament. Bibhranam Analatmikam. She is having the form like the fire, the flames of the fire. Like that, she is valorous, with full of energy, and also that fire is very attractive, pulling like magnet. It is that vibrant, beautiful form. And all contrary to that, Vidyut Dhama. Vidyut is the lightning. For that, the abode is clouds, which is dark in color, Shamala. So she is of that hue, Shamala, as the thick cloud, which is emitting the lightning. Mrugapati, that is Simha. Kandhastitam, she is sitting on Simha, who is the lord of all the Mriga, all the animals. Bhishanam, and she looks so terrific also. Kanyabhik Karavala Kheta, and in her hand she is holding the sword, club, and Vilasat Hastabhi Asevitam. She's holding and she's moving it in such a manner that it looks as though she's sporting with it. Hastaihi, in her hand, she's holding chakra, gada, asi. Asi is the sword. Kheta, the club. Vishikha, the arrows. Chapa, the bow. Gunam is the rope. She's also holding the rope. And Tarjanin, the index finger, as though she's really warning, alerting, the stun alert. Bibhranam analatmikam, one who has become like a fire. I meditate upon her. Om Devyuvacha, she said, येभिस्तवैश्च मां नित्यं स्तोष्यते यः समाहितः तस्याहं सकलां बाधां शमयिष्याम्य संशयम्. Whoever with concentrated mind, concentrated heart, thought towards me, stoshyante, whoever makes me happy through their stuti, samahita, concentrated mind, tasyaham, to that devotee, to that seeker, I will take away all the troubles, suffering, by destroying them without any doubt. Without any doubt. I will take care of them. Madhukaithavanasham cha Mahishasuraghātanam Kirtayishyanti etadvad Vadham Shumbhani Shumbhayoho. Those who chant all the stories of mine, where I have destroyed, killed Madhu, Kaithabha, Mahishasura, and then Shumbha, Nishumbha, especially on Ashtamyam cha Chaturdashyam Navamyam Chaikachetasah Shoshyanti Chaiva Ye Bhaktya Mama Mahatmyamuttamam. Particularly on the Ashtami and then 14th day, that is Chaturdashi, and Navami on the 9th day of the fortnight, or not only chanting, even if they listen to Shoshyanti, even if they listen, those bhaktas, whoever is paying attention with concentrated mind, my Mahatmya, which is Uttamam, which is unsurpassable. Whoever listens to that with great reverence, for them, what all will happen? She says next. Natesham dushkritam kinchit dushkrutotthana chapadah bhavishyati na daridryam na chaiveshta viyojanam. Natesham dushkritam kinchit. Even little bit of sin they will not accrue. Dasyu is the robbers. Rajata is kings. Even from them, there will not be any trouble. Daridryam na bhavishyati. There will not be any poverty. And also the separation from the dear ones. Chaiva ishta viyojanam. They will not be separated from their loved ones. So that loved one can go level wise. First, it can be my own mother, my own husband, or my own wife, my own children. my own kith and kin, my own friends, my own family, my own society, nation, my own earth as Praja of earth, and then the whole manifestation as my own, the loved one. So when I become that, the whole universe, who will become the loved one? None other than that consciousness, Shiva. Because the whole universe is Shakti. See how one can grow with this understanding of Durga Saptashati. Ishta viyojanam na bhavishyati. That Ishtajana will keep increasing, becoming expanded. And finally, we understand I am the whole universe. I am that Shakti. And Shakti is in love with Shiva all the time. They are one. So, Shatrubhyo na bhayam tasya दस्युतो वानराजतः न शस्त्रानलत्तो योगात् कदाचित् संभविष्यति शत्रुभ्यो न भयं तस्य there will not be the fear of the enemies nor the robbers nor the kings and also na shastra or any weapons and also the fire toyoghat toya Avghat means the flooding of water. So the fear of water will not be there. So here we can understand the sin is what the thought arises out of some kind of fear, guilt. All these are the great obstacles for us to go within, to be one with the consciousness. So for that, one thought towards consciousness and that consciousness, Maa Durga. Everything else, all other thoughts, attachment towards all other things, which comes as thought or the notion, they are all coming in different forms as the fire, sin, or the king ordering him, or even the fire, floods, robbers. All these are nothing but the thoughts. So the fear from all these things will also go away. All these thoughts will not occur to him. Because the whole perception of what this universe is, who I am, what that Ishwari is, that Ma Durga is, what is my final destination. Everything will become so clear, pure, with good clarity as Sri Vidya. So when we are one with that Vidya, nothing else matters. Tasman mamaitan mahatmyam patitavyam samahitaihi shrotavyam cha sada bhaktya param swastyayanam mahat. Hence, this Durga Saptashati is about my majesty, about my Mahatma, glory. When it is chanted or heard, listened to with concentration, that would be the best marga or path Param Swasti Ayanam Mahat. So that would be the supreme path. Listening, understanding, and applying Durga Saptashati to our own being is the supreme path. That's what Devi is telling. उपसर्गानशेषांस्तु महामारी समुद्भवान् तथा त्रिविधमुत्पातं माहात्म्यं शमये मम. Upasarganasheshamstu. When there is misfortune or any harm, Mahamari Samudbhavan, or the epidemic calamities coming in threefold calamities as well. Tapatraya. This Mahatmyam will subdue, destroy. So, cosmically and individually within is also taken care when we go through these situations in life. Yatraitat pathyate samyak nityayatane mama sada na tad vimokshami sarnidhyam tatra me sthitam. Wherever there is pathana happening in my abode every day, nityam ayatane mama. Ayatana is that place or shrine or a house where this Durga Saptashati is recited every day. I will never forsake that place, that shrine, that house. Sada nat tad vimokshyami. I will not leave that. Sanidhyam tatra me sthitam. I will be for sure in that place. So, how can we do this? Reciting Durga Saptashati every day in this modern days, it is not possible or it is not easy to do for all of us. If that is the case in this fast moving life, what is the solution? We can't do it every day, but Devi is telling, I will never leave that home where there is patana is happening every day. But Shiva himself solves this problem. He has already said by giving us the Kilaka. Understand Durga not as a form, but as your own consciousness. So, she is that Satchidananda Swarupini who is there within while studying. Visualize Devi as that consciousness. And then constantly you are listening, constantly you are hearing Devi who is in the mantra form, Bijakshara form. Recognize that also. Become one with that mantra, one with that Bijakshara. So, with full effort, understand the meaning, understand the hidden meaning, and also understand the pointed meaning of every mantra as it keeps revealing on its own when we devote ourselves to Ma. When we have done that once with good concentration, total devotion, and surrender, I can tell you, the whole year we would have studied one subject. And on the examination day, we would have written all important points or the essence of the whole subject, which will be questioned in the examination paper. It will be just in one paper. So, just before entering the examination hall, we will not be reading the whole book again and again. We would have understood the whole thing, but we would have taken it as one page with essence and important things. Like that, Kunjika Stotra is there about Durga Saptashati. So, having understood, studied Durga Saptashati, becoming one with the meaning and the hidden meaning, every day, if we recite, listen to Kunjika Stotra, as he has said, it will have the same impact as Pathana of Durga Saptashati in detail. And that takes only 5 minutes maximum, 5 to 6 minutes. So that we can do every day. And to refresh our mind and the understanding, to go within Durga again and again, we can do it on certain occasions, Navaratri. So being in touch with Maa Durga is very important on daily basis. For that, Shiva has given us Kunjika Stotra that we should make use of. बलिप्रदाने पूजायाम् अग्निकार्ये महोत्सवे सर्वं ममैतं माहात्म्यम् उच्चार्यं श्राव्यमेव च. So when there is Balipradana, sacrifice is offered, Agni Karya, when we are doing the worship through Homa, Yajna, or Mahotsave in any other festival, at all those time, if one is listening to or reciting Mahatmya, it will have the good effect on the seeker or the devotee. जानता जानता वापि बलिपूजां यथा कृताम् प्रतीक्षिष्याम्यहं प्रीत्या वह्नि होमं तथा कृतम्. So Devi is telling, knowingly or unknowingly, janata ajanata vapi, either way, bali pujam yatha kritam, when there is bali puja, the sacrifice is offered to her, I will accept gladly with love. Pratikshishyamyaham preetya, I will gladly accept it. Vanhi homam tatha kritam, as the oblation in home, when where just the way we offer the oblations in home, homa, like that, when they give the sacrifice, bali puja, I will accept it with love. So, what can we understand here? Even during Vedic period, bali used to be animal sacrifice. As the society moved away from pranihimsa, which was brought by Buddha, we don't see it happening in many places, except in 1 or 2 states of India or in Nepal. So it is a vast subject to talk about animal sacrifice. having received Kilaka as the conscious form of Maa Durga, having understood Kunjika Stotra, let us see how we can imbibe this Bali Puja. How can we do that Bali Puja? So, Ma is that consciousness. When we offer all our animalistic nature, animalistic behavior, animalistic actions as oblation to that consciousness, she will say, yes, you grow up as a human being with wisdom. You become the divine being. You become the supreme being. Like that, with lots of love, she will accept all those animalistic qualities, animalistic instinct also. Because Ma Durga, as conscious form, she wants us to grow as human being, basically, not as animal, stay as animal in human form, but become a real human being with wisdom, divine form, divine being, and then supreme being. She will be so happy to receive all those things as offering to her into this consciousness. शरत्काले महापूजा क्रियते या च वार्षिकी तस्यां ममैतन्माहात्म्यं श्रुत्वा भक्तिसमन्वितः. In autumn, during the annual great worship, Navaratri, having listened to this hymn of my glory, Sarva Badha Vinirmukto Dhanadhanya Samanvitah Manushyo Mat Prasadena Bhavishyati na Samshayah. That person who is reciting or listening to that Mahatmyam during the annual great worship, during that Navaratri, he will be assured to become free of any badha, any afflictions. And also he will be endowed with great wealth. And there won't be even the smell of poverty in his life. He will get all those things as my prasada. Na bhavishyati na samchayaha. There is no doubt about it. He will be getting what all he deserves and what he needs, he will be getting in his life. What he desires also he will get, because his desires would have already fine-tuned, because his desire, his mind is totally involved with Ma Durga. I want to be one with that conscious form of Ma Durga. So naturally the desires will also be very fine-tuned desires. So she will always make it accomplished. श्रुत्वा ममैतन्माहात्म्यं तथा चोत्पत्तयः शुभाः पराक्रमं च युद्धेषु जायते निर्भयः पुमान्. And having listened to my Mahatmyam, he will get all this wealth and also the auspiciousness and parakramam cha yuddheshu, all valorous deeds in yuddha, in the battle. It can be taken the yuddha which is happening outside or within the battle which is happening, even there, he will have that parakrama to face and give a big fight. Jayate nirbhayah puman, and he will not have any fear. So, because being surrendering to Sarva Shakti, Durga Ma is that. She's Sarva Shakti. So, Abhaya Hasta is always there on that person. Ripavah Samshayam Yanti Kalyanam Chopapadyate Nandate Chakulam Pumsam Mahatmyam Mama Shunvatam. When they hear my Mahatmya, all the enemies will perish. Samshayam Yanti. And Kalyanam Chopapadyate. And there will be that welfare, Kalyanam in his life, coming up again and again. Nandatecha Kulam Pumsam. The whole family will be rejoicing. The whole Kula will be rejoicing. Shanti Karmani Sarvatra Tathadhu Swapna Darshane Graha Pidasu Chograsu Mahatmyam Shunuyan Mama. And one should listen to that Mahatmyam, Shanti Karmani. Whenever there is Shanti Homam or any ceremony connected with pacifying, it can be deities during that time, or when one is seeing Duswapna, the bad dreams, or one who is um, having the dreaded effects of Graha Pida, being struck by the Graha. Also, Upasarga Shamam Yanti Graha Pidascha Darunaha. So, Upasargaha, the evil signs, will also subdue. Graha Pidascha Darunaha, and even the afflictions of the effects of the Navagrahas, creating havoc or the trouble on individuals, that will also be subdued. Duswapnam cha nrvidrishtam suswapnam upajayate. So the bad dream will turn out as the good dream when that Mahatmyam is heard. Balagrahabhibhutanam balanam shantikarakam sanghata bhede chandrinam maitri karanamuttamam. When again this Mahatmyam is heard in children, when they are possessed by evil spirits, even causing afflictions, even they will be subdued. Or broken relationships between two, in them also Maitri, the friendship, will start building up again. Durvrittanam asheshanam balahانikaram param raksho bhuta pishachanam patana devanashanam. So by reciting, by listening to this, most effectively diminishes the power of all evil villains. It can be thoughts or actions or the situations in life. The power of those evil, villainous people or situations will be taken out. Raksho bhota pishachanam. Even he will be protected by the afflictions caused by bhuta, demons, goblins, or spirits. सर्वं ममैतन्माहात्म्यं मम सन्निधिकारकं पशुपुष्पार्घ्यधूपैश्च गन्धदीपैस्तथोत्तमैः विप्राणां भोजनैर्होमैः प्रोक्षणीयैरहर्निशम् अन्यैश्च विविधैर्भोगैः प्रदानैर्वत्सरेणया प्रीतिर्मे क्रियते सास्मिन् सकृदुच्चरिते श्रुते श्रुतं हरति पापानि तथारोग्यं प्रयच्छति. So what will happen? She tells the whole list. Listen to this. This whole Devi Mahatmyam draws the devotee close to me by securing my association, by presenting cattle, flowers, offerings, incense, by the finest perfumes and lamps, and also by feeding Brahmanas, by oblations, by sprinkling sanctified water, and by other objects of enjoyment, and by presenting gifts. If one worships me day and night for the whole year, if a devotee or seeker is doing all these things for the whole year, Devi is saying the satisfaction or gratification which is done to me, that is to Devi, is attained immediately just by listening once to these noble glories of mine. Chanting or listening to it wipes out the sins and confers cure. So, what she's telling is Devi Mahatmyam has so much of power in it to influence the devotee or the seeker to such an extent that whatever one is performing for the whole year, so strictly all the vratas, worshipping, dana, uh, it would be equally influential if just once listen to it with concentrated mind, surrendering heart, it will have the same impact. So we can understand, and it is Devi who is telling it, not a devotee or a rishi or a seeker. It is Devi who is in the conscious form, is expressing it. In the same way, she tells another list. Raksham karoti bhutebhyo janmanam kirtanam mama युद्धेषु चरितं यन्मे दुष्टदैत्यनिबर्हणम् तस्मिन् श्रुते वैरिकृतं भयं पुंसां न जायते युष्माभिस्तुतयो याश्च ब्रह्मर्षिभिः कृता ब्रह्मणा च कृतास्तास्तु प्रयच्छन्तु शुभां मतिम् अरण्ये प्रान्तरे वापि दावाग्नि परिवारितः दस्युभिर्वा व्रत शून्ये गृहीतो वापि शत्रुभिः सिंहव्याघ्रानुयातो वा वने वा वनहस्तिभिः राज्ञा क्रुद्धेन चाज्ञप्तो वध्यो बन्धगतोऽपि वा आघूर्णितो वा वातेन स्थितपोते महार्णवे पतत्सु चापि शस्त्रेषु सङ्ग्रामे वृषदारुणे सर्वाबाधासु घोरासु वेदानाभ्यार्थितोऽपि वा स्मरन् ममैतच्चरितम् नरो मुच्येत सङ्कटात् मम प्रभावात् सिंहाद्या दस्य वो वैरिणस्तथा दूरादेव पलायन्ते स्मरतश्चरितं मम. This hymn of mine protects when narration of my births and capability of killing wicked asuras in the battlefield is listened to. Men will have no fear from enemies. The hymns uttered by you, and those by the divine sages, and those by Brahma, bestow a pious mind. He who is lost, being isolated in a forest, or surrounded by forest fire, or by robbers in a desolated place, or who is captured by enemies, or who is pursued by a lion or tiger, wild elephant in a forest, or who is under the wrathful orders of a king, is sentenced to death or imprisoned, or who is tossed about in his boat by a tempest in the vast sea, or who is in the terrible battle showered by weapons, or who is afflicted with pain, such a man, by remembering this story of mine, is saved from his unbearable passage. Through my power, lions, robbers, enemies flee away far from him who remembers this glorious story of mine. So, this we can understand as a devoted human being interacting in the world, we will come across many of these situations. At that time, as well as being a seeker, when we are meditating on her, all the thoughts which are negative, which are acting as obstacles, they are posing same kind of fear in us. So the conscious form Devi is giving us the guidance and the Abhaya Hasta on us, confidence to go ahead, and I will be there behind you, protecting you. Only thing is, surrender that Shumbha, Nishumbha, Chanda, Munda, Mahishasura, Madhu, Kaitava kind of thoughts. Give that as Balidana, Bali Puja. I will accept because I want to protect you. I want you to be one with me, not with those Rakshasas. So go ahead with your sadhana, with your devotion, with single mind. Rushiruvacha इत्युक्त्वा सा भगवती चण्डिका चण्डविक्रमा पश्यतां सर्वदेवानां तत्रैवान्तरधीयताम् तेऽपि देवा निरातङ्काः स्वाधिकारान्यथा पुरा. Rishi started telling the story to his student further. Ityuktva, saying this, giving this vakya, Bhagavati, that Chandika, fierce in power, Chanda Vikrama, one who is that valorous, fierce in her power, she all of a sudden disappeared, vanished, Antardana, as all the devatas were looking at her. Right in front of their eyes, she just vanished. And then she, having killed all the asuras, devatas became niratanka, without any fear. They all took back their responsibilities. They started enjoying the power which they had earlier, and they took back their dominion as well. यज्ञभागभुजः सर्वे चक्रुर्विनिहतारयः दैत्याश्च देव्या निहते शुम्भे देवरिपौ युधि जगद्विध्वंसके तस्मिन् महोग्रे तुलविक्रमे निशुम्भे च महावीर्ये शेषाः पातालमाययुः. So, those devas who were niratanka, without any fear, there was no atanka in them. They started getting their portion of oblations, and they started receiving that also. The ahuti which they give in the yaga, yajna, homa, that they received. Daityashcha devya nihate, having been killed by Devi, all these asuras, especially Shumbho Deva Ripau Yudhi. Shumba, who was killed in the battle, being the enemy of the Devas, Deva Ripu, Jagad Vidvamsake Tasmin, who was that Shumba, who was the destroyer of Jagat. Here also we should start taking the meaning that Shumba as that Aham, Aham, that false I, egocentric I am an individual, I am this body, I am this mind. That notion is Shumbha. So that Shumbha, when he is killed by this real I, ever expansive conscious form of Devi, whom did she kill? That egocentric Shumbha, who was the destroyer of Jagat. Jagat Vidvamsake Tasmin, Mahogre Atula Vikrame, and who was also very powerful. Isn't it? For 100 years, as a human being, we are living, readjusting with positive and negative situations of life. Again and again, we pump up that I am the body, I am the mind. That egocentric I is very, very powerful. Maha, Ugra, Atula, Vikram. These are all the qualities of that Aham, the small I, false I. Nishumbhecha Mahavirye, and also Nishumbha, Mamakara, the attachment. He was also killed. So all other asuras who were serving this Shumba and Nishumbha, who were helping Shumba and Nishumbha, they all went back to Patala with so much of fear. So here one gets the question, why Devi is guiding the seeker and the devotee by referring the guiding instructions through the analogy or as a great battle which is so horrendous. Why is it so violent? Why couldn't she use some other method? So when we think of this, especially as individuals, we can understand. At the backyard, there comes one small sapling, not knowing which plant is that. We will say, okay, let it grow little bit. Maybe I will come to know. When it grows little taller with fluffy, nice, juicy leaves, we say, wow, it looks so good. Maybe it's a good plant. Let me wait for some more time. Let it grow. And when it grows all the more, it looks beautiful, very attractive, and the mind will say, maybe it will give nice flower also. Let me wait for some more days. And it grows as huge plant. And then the mind will say, there are fruits, but I don't know what fruit, flowers are there, but I don't know what fruit it will give. Let me wait. And it becomes a tree, which turns out as poisonous, grown up, huge plant or huge tree. Then it is too late. In the same way, even we are nurturing so many thoughts and behavior which are turning slowly poisonous, but we are leaving too much time. And when it goes so strong and shows itself as a disease on the physical body or on our behavior or on our understanding or on the concept which are so negative, it will be too late. It would have become asuric. So, if we think about this, all of us will be having one or the other asura whom we are nurturing and caring without knowing it is asura. In the same way, Devi is trying to kill so many asuras of different nature and different qualities. And that is what she is referring. So when we see it in a holistic way, we are going through that battle as individual, both within and in this world. But we are so ignorant that we are not realizing and we are not strictly uh, giving a good combat with those qualities or behaviors. They look okay in the beginning. It is attractive, so we believe in that and we keep going it. I'm not mentioning purposely, not giving the example because I want all of us to think what it can be, which looks attractive. It is fine, like that it thinks. But that fine thought, it is fine. That acceptance will lead that to become like asuric. So we are not understanding, but we are going through the same kind of battle what we are studying in Durga Saptashati. So she's making that clear. एवं भगवती देवी सा नित्यापि पुनः पुनः सम्भूय कुरुते भूप जगतः परिपालनम् एवं भगवती देवी सा O Nrupa, Bhupa, O King. It is that adorable Devi, although eternal, she is eternal, conscious form. Nityapi, even though she is eternal, punah punah sambhoya kurute. She again and again incarnates. Why? To protect the Jagat, Jagata Paripalanam. Tayaitan mohyate vishwam, saiva vishwam prasuyate. And Vishwa is deluded. The world is deluded by her. It is the consciousness which is giving rise to the mind to think in different levels, could be towards the world or could be towards the consciousness. But she is the one who is making the mind so colorful and see the variety, and thus Vishwa, the whole world is deluded by her. Sa eva Vishwam prasuyate, and she is the one who creates this Vishwa. Sa yachita cha vijnanam tushtaruddhim prayachati. No doubt, she deludes the whole world, the individuals as well. She deludes. She puts us into that illusory world that we are always deluded and we are living in it, experiencing life. And she's the one who creates it. However, when she's begged, Yachita, when she's begged, she gives us that knowledge, Vijnana. She gives that supreme knowledge, that experiential supreme knowledge, Vijnana. She gives that consciousness form because she's within us. So she's giving the direct knowledge. Tushta, when she is happy, Ruddhim prayachati, she bestows the prosperity. Vyaptam tayaitat sakalam brahmandam manujeshwara Mahadevya Mahakali Mahamari Swarupaya. By her, Mahakali, who takes the form of the great destroyer, like Mahakali, Mahamari, the destroyer at the end of the time. In all this form, she pervades the whole cosmos. Saiva kale Mahamari Saiva srishtir bhavatyaja Sthitim karoti bhutanam Saiva kale sanatani. And she, Saiva kale Mahamari, and she is the great destroyer at the right time. Saiva srishtir bhavatyaja. Even though she is aja, unborn, she recreates herself as the whole universe. Sthitim karoti bhutanam, and also she sustains all beings in this world, in this Vishwa Jagat. Saivakale Sanatani, and yet she is that eternal one. So she creates by deluding the whole Vishwa as a beautiful world with multiplicity, and she makes all the beings live in it. She recreates and she also destroys as Mahakali, and also as Mahadevi she protects. Like Mahamari, great destroyer, she destroys. She does everything. Who is Sanatani? Bhavakale Saiva Lakshmi Vriddhi Pradagrahe Saiva Bhave Tatha Lakshmi vinashayopajayate. In auspicious time, she becomes the fortune, Lakshmi, and she gives the prosperity in at homes, grihe. Saiva bhave, when she is inauspicious, she comes in the form of misfortune, Alakshmi, and brings the total ruin. She's the same one Ma Durga who creates different things, opposites in this Vishwa. स्तुता सम्पूजिता पुष्पैः गन्धदोपादिभिस्तता ददाति वित्तं पुत्रांश्च मतिं धर्मे गतिं शुभाम्. When prayed and worshipped with flowers, incense, perfumes, etc., she bestows wealth and sons, that is progeny, and a good mind on righteousness, and also prosperous life she bestows. So what can we take from this particular mantra? As a devotee, as a seeker, through all the five senses, pushpa, the incense, deepa, to touch the cloth, what we offer to her, through all the five senses, we should be inhaling or taking and offer it to the conscious form, who is Durga. That means through all the Panchendriyas, do worship her, which is true. The minute we hear the bell, automatically the mind goes towards praying Ma. When we smell the fragrance of the flower or even the incense, it makes us go within, isn't it? And when we see a flower or a vigraha, it makes us go within. If you look at it, when we go to the temple, we see the vigraha, automatically our eyes shuts up. Why? Because we want to take it in, isn't it? Tirtha, when we receive it and drink, we feel something different, divine. When the mind is totally single-mindedly devoted to what we are worshipping. So automatically the person will become fine-tuned to enjoy the life in such a way that whatever he is getting as prasada, and thus the life will become truptikara. It is contented life. One goes through. स्वस्ति श्री मार्कंडेय पुराणे सावर्णिके मन्वन्तरे देवी माहात्म्ये भगवती वाक्यं द्वादशोऽध्यायः. Next one is the Trayodasha. सुरथ वैश्ययोः वरप्रदानं नाम त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः. So the dhyanam for this is Om Balarkamandalabhasam Chaturbahum Trilocanam Pashankushavarabhitihi Dharayantim Shivam Bhaje. See how beautiful it is at the 13th chapter, the Dhyana Shloka is about Shivang. She's Shiva. She's none other than that Shiva. I Dharayantim Shivam Bhaje. I meditate on that Shiva who is Balarka Mandala Bhasa. One who has that hue of Balarka, the young sun, means it is red in color. So she is Arunima Nimagnya. She is in that crimson red color as Ma Shiva. So auspicious. And then Chaturbahum, and she has four bahu, the arms. Trilochanam, she has all the three eyes. And she's holding Pasha, Ankusha, Vara, Abhiti. These are the four she's having in her hands. So these four hands, Pasha, Ankusha, Abhiti, Vara, how can we take it as devotee and seeker of Ma Shiva? Pasha is the nose to draw towards her, the consciousness. So that Ma consciousness is holding nose to draw mind, anthakarana, mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, everything she draws towards her. Even the body is concentrating and going towards that consciousness. Pasha. Ankusha, it is the goad to give the very strong warning, alert to all the panchendriyas and the mind not to go outward, which is nothing but illusion, and it is temporary, transient. So, as a warning, she just pokes with her ankusha. How is she doing? From within, not outward. So, Pasha is also, she is applying from within. Ankusha also, she's applying from within, like a warning, alert. Abhiti. Abhiti is, she gives the jnana to grow, to expand as the whole universe. The minute we become one with her in meditation, we feel that expansion as the whole universe. When I become one with the whole universe, there is nothing else for me to be afraid of, or there is nothing for me to lose anything. Because I am the whole thing. There is nothing beyond. Abhiti. So when I am everything, Vara, Varada, whatever is there in the right hand, if I put it to the left hand, will the right hand cry for it? No. Let it be. Or if it is put on the lap, will this left hand cry? No. So, like that, giving within the whole body as the whole universe, it brings such a nice thing that attachment to any one thing, we will not be holding in mushti. Varada. She's holding that as the for us to remember how I am. So these are all the things suggesting how each one can become Each one is Maa Durga only. Everyone. Everyone. We are all holding Abhaya, Varada, and also Pasha, Ankusha in our hands. But they are all veiled by the notion I am restricted, a limited individual as this body and the mind. So we are becoming limited individual, not the whole universe. So these are all just the pointers for us to go further. एतत्ते कथितं भूप देवी माहात्म्यमुत्तमम् एवं प्रभावा सा देवी ययेदं धार्यते जगत्. Then Rishi said, O King Surata, I have narrated the whole Mahatmyam to you. Evam Prabhava Sa Devi, and her Mahatmya as well, which is so majestic in its power. Yayedam Dharyate Jagat, and one who holds the whole Jagat. Vidya Tathaiva Kriyate Bhagavad Vishnumaya Taya Tvamesha Vaishyascha Tathaivaanye Vivekinaha. And she who is Vishnumaya, she is the elusive power of Vishnu. She is the one who gives the knowledge. She is the one who reveals the knowledge. Vidya Tataiva Kriyate. Taya Tvamesha Vaishyascha. By her, you, and also that Vaishya, you means the king, Surata, O Surata, you and Vaishya, and also other Vivekinaha, others who have the wisdom. Mohyante mohitaschaiva mohameshyamti chapare tamupaihi maharaja sharanam parameshwari. She is the one who gives the knowledge, who is Vishnu's elusive power, Vishnumaya, and by her, you, Vaishya, and also many other Vivekis, with persons with wisdom, all are deluded in the past. Mohyante mohitaschaiva. And also in future also, there will be many others who will be deluded. So go and take refuge in that Devi. What is this? She is the one who has put us into the web of the samsara through Vishnu Maya. And she is the one who gives you the knowledge. So she is the one to whom you should go and surrender. And how is she? She is in the conscious form. So it is like if suppose a person has locked us in a room and he has taken the key. I should go and surrender to the person who has the key in his hand, who has put the lock and he is holding the key. There's no point in me surrendering to anyone else, but he has to be gracious enough to reopen it and make me go out of the room. So one should have the wisdom to surrender to that Devi alone, who is capable of giving us the vidya and take us out from the samsara. So, O Surata, surrender to her. Aradhita saivan rinam Bhogasvargapavargada. So when worshipped, she indeed grants on men the enjoyment, the heaven, and the liberation as well, who is in the conscious form, Durga. We should not forget the Kilaka. Markandeya Uvacha. Markandeya said, Iti tasya vachah shrutva surathasya naradhipah pranipatya mahabhagam tam rushim samshitavratam nirvinnoti mamatvena rajyapaharanena cha. Thus, bowing down, propitiating that Muni who is Samshitavratam, who is of high esteem, who is following the severe austerity. To that Muni, this king Suratha bowed down, and being nirvinna, being depressed by too much of mamatva in him, which was really troubling him, his mind and heart. And also Rajyapaharanena, having lost his kingdom, what did he do? Jagama sadyastapasi sacha vaishyo mahamune sandarshanartham ambaya nadi pulinamastitah. That Suratha king, he went ahead to do the great penance. And Vaishya also bowed down to that Rishi and went ahead towards the river, the banks of the river. Nadi Pulinam Astitaha. He went towards that bank to have Devi Darshana, Amba Darshana. Sandarshanartham Ambaya, to have Devi Darshana. He went towards Nadi. Sacha Vaishyas tapastepe Devi Suktam Param Japan Tau Tasmin Puline Devyaha Kritva Murtim Mahi. So, both of them, Sacha Vaishyas tapastepe Devi Suktam Param Japan. That merchant started doing the japa sadhana of Devi Suktam on the sandbank by making the Ardhan Vigraha of Devi. Kritva Murtim Mahi. Mahi means Ardhan image out of sand. You can take it. Arhanam Chakratustasyaha Pushpadhopagnitharpanaihi Niraharo Yatatmanau Tanmanaskau Samahitau. So both of them worshipped Devi with flowers, incense, fire, offering of water, and sometimes without food, sometimes restricting the food or having just little food, concentrating their mind totally on Devi. They started doing their tapas. One is doing the tapas, meditation. Another one is doing japa of Devi Sukta. Keep chanting and repeating it again and again. Dadatustau balim chaiva nijagatra srugukshitam evam samaradhayato tribhir varshairyatmano. So like this for 3 years they did the vrata. They performed the vrata by presenting the offerings, by sprinkling their own blood on whatever they wanted to offer to Devi. Nijagatra means by their own body. Struk means the blood. Ukshitam by sprinkling them on Dadastau Balin. They gave the Bali. Means the offering of the things what was available there. Evam Samaradhayato for 3 years. They did this worship for 3 years. So what we can understand here is the instead of using other animal or other animal's blood to purify this or to offer it as uh, oblation to Devi, they are taking their own blood and giving it. So, what can we understand by this? One way of offering blood is one kind of puja or worship. The other thing, what it says is both of them left the attachment towards their body and also the fear about losing the body. When there is fear and attachment towards the body, we don't want to harm the body at all. But these two are taking their own blood and they are offering it. That means they have left the attachment towards the body and the fear of losing the body. That means they have surpassed the level of I am the body. They have given up. So they're performing for 3 years this type of vrata. परितुष्टा जगद्धात्री प्रत्यक्षं प्राह चंडिका. Highly pleased with these two who have surrendered themselves to Devi, she spoke thus and coming visibly in form in front of them. So that let us say it in the next class. ॐ शिवशक्ति 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 ॐ शिवशक्ति 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 ॐ शिवशक्ति 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 ॐ शिवशक्ति 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 ॐ शिवशक्ति शिवशक्ति शिवशक्ति